Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. Happy Wednesday to you. Already halfway through the week. Let's see what's going on with SUI once more. We got this nice pump here yesterday when it consolidated that 0.618 fib level we talked about. Slight potential for pullback here just based on overextension to that 0.786 fib at 180, but I think there's a solid chance we're going to see a bit more of a continuation. However, we can't blindly just jump into a long position, but the truth is there's a lot of bullish confirming factors here for SUI, and there's no reason to consider otherwise, right? So if the trend is your friend, why not continue to be friends with the trend, right? I don't know how many analogies I can throw in there. That's a terrible one, obviously, but the general consensus here is that until the trend reverses or we see a shift in that momentum that's significant enough, we have no reason to consider the price action is going to pull back. It doesn't mean you just hold on to your longs until $15, $20 or whatever, because I think that while we should be able to retest our all-time high, we still need to be mindful and be careful and responsible as traders too. Okay, so those are things where hopefully that's where I like to come in and kind of knock some sense into some people, because people will have a tendency of just doing, falling to their own devices and just doing their own thing, and it's okay. But I like to kind of be that moral compass for you. Quick little congrats and thanks to our community here. Awesome profit there from Polkadot, good 21% there in 20 hours. ICP and Cardano, previous trades played out there from a couple weeks ago. And then we had like a near protocol trade, almost 50% over the weekend. So it's been a nice little situation. While we can't catch them all, like SEI, for example, man, I really missed this barn burner by like 1 cent. It was very frustrating. And hey, just so you know, you're not alone, right? FOMO happens all the time. And now, while I didn't FOMO in, which in hindsight is actually a bad call, I'm glad that I held true to my standards and made sure to wait for my entry, even though it would have been a pretty stellar entry, right? So again, it happens. It's okay. Don't cry over spilt milk, as they say. Let's look at the liquidation levels and kind of see 180 to 190 is that upper range here. We got already like $2-3 billion in liquidation upwards of 190. Let's zoom in here and kind of see what that looks like here. So yeah, 300, 400, 500, 400. Yeah, so there's somewhere in the range of just a $2 billion in liquidation upwards of 185, and if you add all the rest up, probably more like $3 to $4 billion upwards of 195. Okay, so I'll post this on our playout chart so you can kind of see it. There's a lot of longs obviously in motion right now that are in profit. So just as per usual, folks, if you're in profit and you haven't secured profit already, at least move your stop loss higher, right? A good place would be just below the key fib level here at about 155, maybe just say 149, 148 to be safe. That way you can still walk away in profit, because again, there's nothing worse than giving up 100% profit on a spot trade if you're just being greedy. This is not the market to be greedy, although this coin does kind of contradict that a little bit. So let's take a look at the daily time frame, work our way down. And just recognize again, we got potential key level support around 158 to 152. If we look, the reason why that's relevant is because our macro point of control, even though it's pretty heavy here at about 82 cents, we can see our tertiary amount of support at about 155, 156. So that's good. That reaffirms this golden pocket being a likely area of support, because there's a lot of volume in that range. Obviously, you have to exclude this lower range because we're probably not going to see 84 cents. I think sub $1 is a very distinct unlikelihood at this point. Now, it could very well happen. We've seen monumental decreases for this coin before, so you don't want to be blind. That's exactly why you set stop losses in profit. But once more, at this point, we look RSI indicating that we have no reason to close their long position. Money flow index is above it even still. That basically tells us that even though it's overextended, we got people still buying. The likelihood of it going down is lower because people would have to sell, right? So that we're not seeing that right now. Everything's looking awesome. So really no reason to consider trading against this coin at this point. While you could probably find plenty of success trading down a good 5 to 10% ranges each time, this is proven to be a very steady and consistent gainer, and there's no reason to short against it. Okay, so you're much better off waiting for a long opportunity that never happens, which is what I do all the time, versus taking a short to that level, because once again, if you short this coin, every time somebody shorts, they get demolished. This coin is just on fire, and there's no reason to bet against it, okay? So from a technical standpoint, don't bother with that. Now we can see here, of course, we crossed back over 70 on the R side. Generally, that is construed as a take profit target or take profit sign. So if I have a long position, it takes the 70 plus on the RSI on the 4 hour above, and then it comes back down. When it comes back down and crosses below, that's when you consider selling. So from an overextended standpoint, you may want to consider securing some profit. I don't recommend taking everything out. A lot of our community members, and I recommend this too, is to maybe do 75% on your first target, let that last 25% ride. Heaven forbid it goes up another 200%, you still get some skin in the game, you feel less bad about getting all out. Okay, so averaging out of your position is probably one of the better things you can do as a trader. Again, just to, it kind of helps with FOMO, I guess you could say. Having said all that, let's take a look. I mean, nothing else really screaming bearish divergence. We got a MACD divergence forming, but if you look at the last time the price action had done that, here, let's pull this up here so we see. You can recognize this is a MACD divergence right here. So the price diverged here, so to speak, at that level, okay? So if we zoom in, you can kind of see this is when we got a MACD divergence, right? That's not really all that great of a pullback, was it? Okay, again, so I just want to recommend that you be careful using a MACD divergence or just, putting too much emphasis on that one indicator, specifically in bullish uptrends and or range-bound activity, because it can give you a lot of false positives. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes, wait, isn't trading all about continuation patterns and range-bound trading? Yes, but there's different bottoms, different things you want to use in kind of combination with it to be more successful. So I'm not super concerned with that pulling back. However, that is letting us know loosely that we want to be mindful that the price could contract and capitulate. And if so, then that's normal, right? But we're above the 20-day SMA. We have no reason to consider selling minus that 4-hour RSI crossover, that 70 level, which to me does, that's generally just something I do. It's not like a foolproof plan. But I like to secure profits. If you're part of my community, I like to take 20, 30, 40% profit in each target and essentially continue moving forward with that. Bullish uptrends like this, I use more so like a medium risk tolerance. Future reference, that's all available in our signals guide here if you're part of our community. I definitely recommend low risk for the most part, but it's all there for you if you're curious. Anyways, the whole point of that is just kind of trying to educate you on securing profits when you can. This is, even if we're in a bullish uptrend, which we pretty much have been, you don't want to be uber greedy. You want to be moderately greedy, but not crazy greedy, right? So don't just wait for this coin to go to $2, $3, $4 and then secure profit. Consider trading in and out between now and then. All right, hourly time frame is also going to reflect positivity here, minus the fact that the lagging span is getting closer to the price action. When you see this green guy here, get it within the price, it's generally construed as a take profit target. Now in hindsight, you look at that here, had you taken profit here, the price continued higher, inevitably. So you want to take that with a grain of salt. However, we can see here, fair value gap has been mostly filled, so there's a decent chance we could see the price continue higher. This is working itself into a flag pattern, and we may want to just kind of be mindful of that. So if we break above or below this certain pattern here, we could very well see further upside. Generally speaking, you'll see the price action do one of these and then continue upwards. And the reason why that's relevant is because it's establishing higher highs and higher lows. It's shifting the momentum and the trend, right? So pay attention to that. Those are really things you can work on if you're not proficient with it already. I've been trading for over 20 years, and it's not something I do. I can see every time. For the most part, I generally understand how that works favorably. I talk about that a lot in my trading university too, so if you're part of our community, make sure you go through my trading university. It's very important to understand that, because I talk a lot about moving averages and trend reversals. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at. I hope that makes sense and I described that correctly. Deeply appreciate everyone who's been watching for a while and even recently. I'll post our playout chart on our Twitter, Telegram, Discord here shortly. It is available here. It looks a little something like this. I do want to say thank you to a lot of people who are starting to watch and more so like my content on my Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Deeply appreciate that. Keep it up. I thank you for that too. So we'll hope to have a good rest of your day. Thanks for your time. We'll see you the next one. Take care.